Those fairies are the spirits of Orihime's Shunshun Rika. Clockwise, from top left, Shuno, Ayame, Hinagiku, Bygone, Lily, and Tsubaki. Different combinations of them work to defend, attack, or heal. This is Zangetsu's sealed form. A Zanpakuto's size can be used as a rough measure of its strength, but that only holds true for weaker Soul Reapers. As Captain-level Shinigami have greater control, they condense their sword's power into smaller, more concentrated forms. Uryu's first bow, Ginrei Kojaku. Unlike a Zanpakuto, it has no will of its own, as it's just soul energy condensed into a bow shape. Ichigo punched the Shrieker through the teeth with a fistful of its explosive leeches. Then he removed its tongue. No longer able to whistle to detonate its bombs, it soon fell. Acid Wire attacked Orihime, as monsters that were once human have a tendency to target their former loved ones. Orihime apologized to her brother for not thinking of him more. Kind-hearted to a fault, when he bit her, she hugged him in return. Chat has vibrant taste in shirts. I just don't have a lot to say about him, sorry. Kisuke Urahara is a very powerful Soul Reaper. After Rukia's capture, he begins to train Ichigo. Urahara's main training method is to beat the living daylights out of you until you figure out how to fight back and survive. As for why he's living in the human world and running a store that sells candy to humans and soul candy and other gadgets to Soul Reapers, well, he enjoys the peace and quiet while he works on his bizarre inventions. But that's not the only reason. Like most things in the Urahara shop, Ururu is a lot deadlier than she seems. Seriously, that's just creepy, Ururu. How many brain cells do you have? Uryu, that's like the third card with you in the exact same pose with the exact same angle. Don't you do anything else? This is Dijanbo Ikanzaka, gatekeeper of Serete's West Gate. He ensures only Soul Reapers and nobility pass through the White Road Gate. He's also nearly 10 meters tall for no particular reason. Possibly a full 10 meters with that goofy fez. This is Captain Gin Ichimaru, who licks the screen in this game's opening movie. Go watch it again, he does. That guy is Ganju Shiba. He has a spell that turns what he touches into sand. Sapa! He's a rough and tumble kind of guy who picks fights sooner than greets you. In a near-death experience, you are outside your body, but connected to it by a chain on your chest. When you die, that chain is snapped. Free-roaming ghosts are easy to sense for both Hollows and Reapers, but typical unfinished business ghosts are changed to whatever they can't mentally leave behind. These ones are much harder to sense. As time progresses, the chain withers and shortens, until the chain breaks completely, causing great pain as your heart is torn from your chest and coalesces onto your face, forming a bone-white mask. If this mask is broken, your soul begins to pour out, which is why it's a Hollow's weak point. Rukia is a decently powerful Soul Reaper, but it takes a long time to completely regenerate her powers, having had them taken by Ichigo. That and her false body, or Gigai. While she ordered it specially from Urahara to help her regain her powers faster, it doesn't do that. Shoddy merchandise. It's worth noting that Yuzu can't see ghosts. She's not being attacked by a Sith, just an invisible monster. Of course, the Grand Fisher attacks Ichigo's family. Undefeated villains in a backstory always show up again. Now, class, I want you to draw a picture of how you see yourself in the future.
Me in the future? That sounds amazing!
And so Robohime happened.
I mentioned before that cone is a type of soul candy. This is what happens when Ichigo eats it. If you ever find yourself possessing someone else, it's your civic duty to make a fool of your host, I suppose.
Angry Totsuki, someone's gonna die.
Before becoming a ghost hunter, Don Kanonji was a used car salesman. Rukia is a natural actor, able to produce crocodile tears with ease. Orihime has a warped sense of taste. When I was around 5 years old, I made a sandwich with strawberry jam and mayonnaise. I have an almost pathological desire to clear my plate. I ate half. I didn't prepare anything other than peanut butter sandwiches for the rest of the decade. Orihime eats food like that all the time. To be fair, there are other people who share her sense of taste. Rangiku Matsumoto, and by extension the dubiously canon Matsuri Kudo. But they are also insane. And wow, I can barely wait to introduce you to Matsuri. Urahara gave Ichigo a headband and told him to activate it he had to shout, "Amazing headband of justice in place! Amazing armor of justice, protect me!" While that's not out of place in this genre, Urahara lied. It's just a headband. Tessai is a master of Kido. Kido is split into offensive spells, Hado, and utility spells, Bakuro. This is Bakuro number 99, part 1, Kin. The target is bound in what I'm assuming is, until I'm directly told otherwise, duct tape. Part 2 of Bakuro number 99, Bankin. The target is wrapped in bandages, then shot full of bolts, then a giant metal cube squashes them flat. This is a very powerful spell that requires great concentration. The higher the number of the spell, the greater the power and difficulty. I could say that on the left is Captain Kenpachi Zaraki of the 11th Squad, and on the right is Captain Genichimaru of the 3rd. Or I could point out that important characters have a tendency to look really off-model in their first appearance. But instead I'm going to draw attention to the perspective here. They look like they're right next to each other, but that would make Gin massive. Giant! He couldn't even stand up on that catwalk! Again, it's one of the things that get funnier the more you look at it. His head is the size of his hand! That shouty man in the corner is Zangetsu, yelling at Ichigo from inside him to stop sucking. That is pretty much his one job in life. He does it with pride. Uryu loves his little mantle. He always carries a spare in case of damage or loss. This despite the fact it actively hinders his movement and archery. He just thinks it makes him look that cool. Rather than the Serete's gates being mechanical, the massive gatekeepers just open them with brute strength. Oh, this guy? He's Captain Sosuke Aizen of the 5th. Never mind him, he's not important. Captain's meeting! 13 captains each with 1 lieutenant. That's 26 characters already. This is why Bleach has so many characters. And I love them so. Finally, a picture of someone's soul chain. As part of Urahara's training from hell, Ichigo actually died. When Byakuya defeated Ichigo and took back Rukia, he destroyed the borrowed powers. So Ichigo had to die and gain Shinigami powers for himself. It doesn't normally work quite like that, but Ichigo, being the character the story is focused on, is special, and Urahara knows it. Technically alive, but able to use the powers of the dead. Existing in some limbo state between life and death is the least of Ichigo's problems, however. Orihime has a lot of power in her. She could be a terrifying opponent, but she doesn't have the right personality to really take advantage of her power. Her attacks could theoretically cut through any substance, but she lacks the intent to harm. She could block any attack and even send it right back to its originator, but she lacks confidence. The only part of her power she's a match for is her ability to restore people to their former states, but she uses it to heal people's physical injuries. Basically, if you've ever called a member of the Green Lantern Corps unimaginative, you know the emotions I'm grappling with. Oh, another Chad card? He's a simple guy. I don't know what to say about him.
He likes tomatoes? He's 197 centimeters? His birthday's April 7th? Uru shares a room with Jinta, in theory. He set up a rabbit hutch-looking fence in the corner. That's where she sleeps. Urahara's Zanpakuto's sealed state is a cane. He's more battle-ready than he looked, huh? This is the 100th paragraph of explanation I've written, by the way. It takes a lot of time, but it's a lot of fun. Come on, Uryu, I don't like discussing spoilers. What else do you want me to say about you? How about that he's actually only half Quincy? That doesn't seem too disruptive. But it kinda makes everything seem even more pathetic. Sorry, Uryu. This hollow is Bulbous G. He attacked Kareen and Chad saved her. That was when he awakened his magical powers. There's Numb Chandelier, Orihime's first opponent. Hollows can open rifts between places to travel, usually their world, Huecamundo, and their feeding grounds, the human world. The more of these sky rifts, or gargantas, are opened in one place, the easier it is to open a new one as the barrier between worlds weakens. So if a lot of hollows gather in one place, more hollows will notice and travel there. If a large enough amount of hollows are in one place, a menos grande will soon follow, to eat them. If things aren't cleared up quickly, more menos will follow. Renji is childhood friends with Rukia. He also looks awfully grumpy for wearing such a festive-looking outfit. I think that's what he sleeps in. Djanbo's the kind of guy he looks like a stupid thug. While he is pretty dumb, he's a good guy and well-liked by those who know him. Gin is both in and out of universe, polarizing. You either admire him or are repulsed by him. He has a habit of spying on people and playing tricks on them for fun. On the other hand, he planted a bunch of persimmon trees around his squad barracks and raised them himself. He picks and hand-dries them, dried persimmons being his favorite food. Then he shares them with the soldiers, even in other squads. So he is super creepy, but he has a sweet side. The Shibas are actually a noble family. They live outside Serete in the Rukongai. One reason could be they produce fireworks and don't want to disturb the soldiers, but I'm pretty sure it's because they hate the other noble family's guts. They're not too hot about Soul Reapers either. Rukia did commit a crime by giving her Soul Reaper powers to a human, and another by staying in the human world for far too long. These crimes are relatively minor, and would normally result in a punishment like imprisonment for a time, maybe a demotion and a pay cut. Yet Rukia faces execution for her crimes. Better hurry up and save her, Ichigo. Keigo Asano is an honest, open-hearted young man. He's often loud and goofy. Mizuhiro Kojima is a manipulative, closed-hearted young man. He's often quiet and depressed. Somehow, these guys are inseparable friends. Tessai likes organization, so I'll explain soul societies a little. There are 3 branches of the military: the 13 Court Guard squads, the Kido Corps, and the Stealth Force. Roughly, warriors, mages, and rogues, respectively. Each of the 13 divisions of the Court Guards have a different captain, led by the captain of the 1st Division, the head captain. The Kido Corps are highly secretive and handle things like sealing away demons, activating magic relics, and opening the portals to the human world. The Stealth Force handle delivering messages, guarding dangerous prisoners, scouting, and assassinating criminal Soul Reapers. This is an example of Uryu's craftsmanship. Poor Cone, the universe's chew toy. Don Kanonji scares and confuses me. I have nothing else to say about him. This is Uryu's dead grandfather, Soken Ishida. All he wanted was for Soul Reapers and Quincy's to work together, but he died a horrible, terrible death, and then his corpse was dissected by Soul Reapers for research purposes. Sorry, buddy, Shinigami are jerks in all media. This cat is named Yoriichi. They live with Urahara, where he feeds them cat food and lots of milk. Yoriichi Shihoen was Urahara and Tessai's childhood friend. This is Kakaku Shiba, older sister to Ganju. She is one of the loudest, most boisterous women I've ever seen. If you can look past the fact she's wearing more bandages than real clothing, you can see she has a prosthetic arm. Fireworks are dangerous, kids! Don't put them in your mouth! This is Zangetsu's Shikai. It's even bigger now! The tassels have been upgraded to a bandage, and since Ichigo's fighting style is pure offense, the crossguard has been dropped like a frog's tail. An unsubtle blade for an unsubtle man. This is Urahara's Benehime, or Crimson Princess. I think it's the prettiest Shikai of them all. Renji's Zabumaru is a segmented snake sword. If you've played Soul Calibur, you'll easily compare it to Ivy's alchemical blade. The segments disconnect from each other, but have a rope-like chain inside so it can be extended and retracted. It's a very silly, very fantasy weapon. You see that mask perched on Ichigo's head? That's a hollow mask. Under Urahara's care, he suffered a training accident. To summarize this point, Ichigo is a human with the powers of a Soul Reaper and a Hollow. This isn't as contradictory as it seems. I'd love to talk about it more, but if I start down that road, I might as well just start reading the manga to you. I love the lore and the setting of Bleach. If I had an infinite money cheat code that worked in real life, I'd use it to fund a Bleach online game. Different squads have different specialities, so which squad you join determines the skills that's easiest to learn. Zanpakuto customization of appearance and powers a la City of Heroes. The closest thing I have is a game called Bleach, Third Phantom, and oh boy, I really want to play it for you. Despite playing it to completion again just a few months ago. And since it has 2 playable characters to choose from, that subtly changes the game, and you can't normally see every scene in one playthrough, I'd have to play it several times to completion, and then there's the bonus dungeon. Oh boy. So here's my plan. One more video to show off the rest of the extras menu in this game, then a video of Third Phantom, first chapter, girl character. Then, a video of first chapter, boy character. I'll keep my previous recording and alter only the changed lines. I'll play it with minimal cheats just to get every scene, but not to help in battle. Though, if playing the same game twice in a row starts to drive me mad, I may start cheating more with one pass. I'll alternate like this until the time skip in-game. Then I'll play the DS fighting games Blade of Fate and Dark Souls to catch everyone up on Ichigo's story. Then, back to Third Phantom until I collapse of exhaustion. Sounds good? Good. I'm gonna do it. See you there. I'm out.
とにかく勝っちゃいいんだよ